So Skylanders' trap team is divisive to say the least. It has what is, in my opinion, the best gameplay, antagonists, and dare I say, story of the whole series. It also has the addition of traps that open up more gameplay options, strategies, and characters, and is a whole lot of fun. Unfortunately though, that is only when it works, because this game can be an absolute hot mess, from glitches, to bugs, to intricacies that can force you to restart your console. It is also one of, if not the most difficult game in the series, with a final boss that people tell horror stories over. So I'm gonna attempt to beat it using only the starter pack, which consists of Snapshot, Food Fight, a Water Trap, and a Life Trap. Holy. Start our save file and let's go. This time around, Eon tells us about the Skylands even longer ago, showing this edgy group named the Doom Raiders that basically do whatever they want. The trap team opposes them with their Traptanium weapons, and they win and put the Raiders in Cloudcracker Prison, made of Traptanium that should be basically impossible to break out of. Basically. We are shown Skylanders Academy and a new character, Buzz, who has secret ninja commando skills. Something very important apparently, because whenever he appears he has to say it at least once or he spontaneously combusts. Bing bing big explosion in the distance, so you know it's time to start. Soda Springs is being destroyed by a big ass water blob named the Gulper, who gets bigger the more soda he drinks. Unfortunately for him, Buzz has a blicky. We reset our 2 starter pack characters and are plunged into the first chapter. Go through some pretty standard tutorial stuff for a Skylanders game, getting money, pushing turtles, etc. And then we come across the single most evil villain in the series so far. Sheep Creep. So the boss battle is going to be incredibly long, but I'm ready for it. Oh damn! Trap Sheep Creep, and while I heard him getting put into the trap on the portal, the game itself doesn't have that audio, so in the recording it sounds like they get banished to the void. Pick Sheep Creep to keep and trash the heap because that's cheating, and here we come across a small issue. So you see, traps save all the information they are given, which means every evolution I've ever completed is saved on them, and to my knowledge, they cannot be reset in any way. I tried. I debated not using villains that I have evolved because no one would have them if it were their first playthrough of the game, but ultimately decided that keeping them is fine because having an evolved Sheep Creep isn't going to be the deciding factor on whether I win or lose this challenge. Come across a winged sapphire, which will definitely help with our upgrades. Destroy some Traptanium and complete the water gate for a fresh new hat, destroy some enemies with our boy Snapshot, and we are finally in range of the Gulper. Buzz's plan is to first stop him from growing any more, and we do that by destroying the barrels of good soda, and then we have to stop the destruction, which means encouraging him to drink a soda so bad that he loses his entire body mass. We trap the Gulper and Soda Springs is finished. In the academy, we meet Mags and Persephone, get a couple upgrades, and go to Know-It-All Island to figure out who the Doom Raiders are. Chaos is up to his usual shenanigans, and what a surprise! He's the one who destroyed Cloudcracker Prison, but they don't like him very much. We get to the first Knucklehead, yes, that is what they are called, and he tells us about Chompy Mage.
Chompy Mage liked to dance. He also liked to stompy, but the thing he loves the most is turn everyone to Chompy.
Everyone else is like this too. Aura farm with Buzz, defeat a helicopter chicken, find blobbers! Oh my god, it's blobbers! Yes, whatever you need! Stupid turret part, but this one isn't nearly as bad as the turrets in Swap Force, so eh. By tagging in a villain during this challenge, we can abuse the hell out of the fact that they don't take damage and merely suffer a time penalty. It basically means we have some get out of jail free cards which we can use, which will make this challenge way more manageable with just 2 Skylanders. Trap Slobber Trap and no more Know-It-All Island. Take a wild, crazy guess who we're gonna find in Chompy Mountain. That's right. Golden Queen! First step of business is to employ some people to help us get to the mountain. Then we run into the Chompy Mage who despises everything that doesn't look like a little infested freak. these dumbass left cannons here for us to use, so we fend him off, defeat Bruiser Cruiser, and chug into the mountain. And these idiots managed to get captured within 5 seconds of being here, so we need to go get them again. I got this guy, watched a cutscene, then took a little detour. When I got back though...
Thanks for busting me out of here, Skylander. And sorry we rushed in ahead of you like that, but I was able to figure out how their elevator system works.
Broccoli guy.
Who let the weed talk? I literally killed him with my aura. We save the others, then make our way to the summit of the mountain, where we can fight the big bad for a rematch. Notice how enemies in this game don't have to be announced for every new variation? Slobbertrap has really nice area damage for these guys, so the small enemies are a breeze. He tries to use his trump card, but based on Pokemon and like every other turn-based game ever, water beats fire, so we send him to the void.
What the? What did I do to deserve this? Oh yeah, all that stuff I did!
Kaos has a separate plan from the Doom Raiders. I wonder what that could be. Our next target is Chef Pepperjack. We've got to get to the Phoenix chicken who only lays magical eggs. Chef Zeppelin is pretty simple and introduces a new minigame. Do this longer than it should be turret section, go through the Zeppelin and learn how to play Skystone Smash. Then go over to defeat Chef Pepperjack. The strategy, apart from cheesing the villains not taking damage, is to stay at long range, which both Food Fight and Snapshot can do. Without too much difficulty, Gordon Ramsay gets sauteed. Back at the Doom Raiders, Golden Queen has a kerfuffle with Kaos, which I mean, this is an extreme diff battle, but somehow Versus Battle Wiki is wrong and Kaos gets no diffed? Turned into gold and abandoned. That's rough, buddy. We need to find a fish called the Information Squid to figure out what the Raiders are doing with Traptanium. Let's go. Yeah, I don't like Rainfish Riviera that much. Credit where credit is due though, so far this game has a way better ratio of good levels to bad levels when compared to Swap Force. Long and the short of it, we find the Information Squid after it gets eaten by a bigger fish and bring it back to headquarters. Dun dun dun! It's Kaos. He wants to make a truce until we can catch the other dudes. Given that we don't really have a choice, guess we should trust him for now. Trusting Kaos to give us the right location of the Dreamcatcher, we go to Monster Marsh, a place with a supposed curse that forces you to make bad decisions, like talking about your ex on a first date. Slam some fodder with our Chompy stick, make our way through the poisonous swamp with the help of Goth Persephone, and awake the sleeping Mabu so Dreamcatcher can't steal their dreams, and therefore how to use the Traptanium. But we couldn't capture her, so even though she didn't get the information she needed, she knows how to get it. By going to... The concept of this level is cool and the setting is genuinely sick. Unfortunately, it's pretty boring when you're not in the dream type area. Luckily, even though this game is pretty glitchy, at least I'm not playing on the Wii because, well, it's the Dreamcatcher fight.
Come back, boom!
So you'll remember the Willikin village from Skylanders Giants? Well, this is the Evillikin village, so it's dark and evil and very quick. Apparently, to get the Traptanium machine to work, the Doom Raiders need the stinkiest substance in the universe. What? So we need to go to the...
Oh, but that smell is awful.
Clock strikes
What do they have
12.
in there,
Midnight
raw food?
arrive.
One of the things I can appreciate about this challenge is that having only 2 characters to focus on makes the progression of each one go way faster. Like both Food Fight and Snapshot have nearly every upgrade apart from the Soul Gems already, and they are both close to halfway maxed. Compared to the other games when this didn't even have a chance of happening. Nice work, I guess.
No, really, I'm asking. Just want to make sure I'm talking to the right guy here. Oh, great, all right. Well, let's do this then.
My god, Dr. Crankcase has so much aura. The fight is simple enough. See Kaos get kidnapped by Wolfgang, use Brawl and Chain to keep spinning around, ensuring that no one gets too close to you and you are able to continuously do damage to Crankcase. Then switch to long range with Food Fight when you run out of time. Repeat until the insect is dead.
You mean erected?
So apparently the stinkiest substance in the world after these guys is cheese that has been aged for 10,000 years. But no one can time travel apart from Portal Masters, and the only one in Skylands is Kaos. So Kaos is used as a time stepping stone to let Wolfgang go into the future, a plan that differs from just the cheese because he don't really like Golden Queen no more. 10,000 years into the future, there are no other major villains apart from Wolfgang, so he's made himself at home, rocking riffs and eardrums with the Death Star type thing called the Big Bad Woofer, which is for the loudest concert in Skylands, which will destroy everything. We see Persephone but have fully upgraded both characters apart from the Soul Gem, so all we need now is experience. We see the descendants of people we know from the past, and they are just as silly as their grandparents.
All giant evil weapons have a weak point, you know.
One thing before the Wolfgang fight. I really like how even though this game has a group of antagonists, I feel like a kid's game wouldn't normally let them have their own motives, little moments and ways of fighting, so I must give props for the uniqueness of Trap Team as a whole. Wolfgang himself is a pretty cool boss too. It's in the middle of a massive Death Star with lasers, flying notes, speakers and holograms. Awesome. But we put the dog down to see that the stinky cheese has been aged for 10,000 years, brought back to the present, and the massive machine is now operational. Golden Queen shows her power by putting Big Ben in a snow globe, cut back to HQ. Okay, so just let me make a little checklist, because normally objectives in this series last one level and not multiple. So, we need to find and defeat Golden Queen. To do that, we need to get to the magic prism which points directly to the location of the most gold in Skylands, which is controlled by pirates in the Sky Highlands. To get to the Sky Highlands, we need a massive rocket. So let's start with the start. This level is basically a whole lot of nothing until the last part, which is an arena battle, when you fight a guy named Threat Pack. Given that it has been a decent few levels since I have trapped anyone, I thought it would be a good idea to try a new character. Rocket acquired. No, please, no more. Oh my god. So, ignoring the fact that Cali knew there was literally a place called the Golden Desert and didn't even think to go there, this level sucks. Apart from the creepy ass chompy worm things, the long walking sections and the tombstones, I encountered another bug that kept reviving the damn bone chompy every time it was about to die, and I didn't want to capture him, oh no, I wanted to kill him!
Are you fucking...
Yeah, so a lot of this is pretty similar to the Golden Desert, so I'm just gonna
Skip to the good part.
Golden Queen is just at the top of this staircase, so it really makes it feel like the final battle, even though we all know it's not. Also, not sorry Golden Queen, but you have no aura when compared to my goat Dr. Crankcase. Cali tries to give us what I can only call advice during this boss, but she just keeps saying obvious stuff. Pretty simple loop, just destroy every gold thing you see, then Golden Queen herself until this happens. I have no idea if this is meant to be this slow, but yeah.
Golden Queen defeated.
The pillars!
Mantis, look out!
So, with all the Doom Raiders defeated, there is one villain left, and you will never, ever, ever guess who it is. That's right, Mags. Kaos goes and gets infected with the cheese, which somehow makes him hella powerful, enough to where he's not talking to you, the Skylander, he's talking to you. Cause you are the reason he's kept failing, and he wants to get rid of the source. My god, I do not know how I forgot about this part. And finally, after being very careful with the fight so far in this level, we face Traptanium Kaos. This version of Kaos is probably the most difficult battle period in the entire series. Yes, even harder than Bone Chompy. And this isn't even Nightmare mode! Kaos has a bunch of different attacks here with increasing strength and speed, which is why we stay tagged as a villain for as long as we can so we can avoid the damage. Luckily, of the 4 current playable characters, 2 are ranged and 2 are close quarters, so I was able to adapt to each phase pretty well. But unfortunately, after dealing with Kaos's evil head, shoulders, knees and toes, I didn't switch to Chompy Mage in time and Food Fight taste tested the dust.
This just got personal.
Chaos is defeated, Skylanders is peaceful, we've trapped like 2 villains and everyone is happy. Well, except Chaos, I guess.
He actually owes me $5. So you see, it wasn't even remotely a fair fight, Portal Master. You had an army on your side.
Yeah, I guess I had an army. An army of 2, maybe 4 if I was lucky, you goddamn idiot! You had more help from me than I ever did! Oh my god, I gotta chill.